Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Umineko When They Cry, episode 3. So last time, it was a much more calmer episode. The adults were talking about the aftermath, I guess, of finding Rosa's body and the current situation that they're in right now. And then we also saw Beato last time completely change personality. Seems like she was regretting all the actions she has done, right? It was pretty funny because she was a very different person or witch, I guess, this time around. So we'll see what happens today and let us continue.
もちろんわかってるさ。だがな、時間を置けばどんどん暗くなってくる。多分今が一番明るい。今が一番都合がいいんだ。
ローザさんたちが襲われてからまだ1時間も経ったかどうかですよ。いくらなんでも不用心です。
It was only natural that Natsuhi was yelling about recklessness. After all, Rudolph had said he was going to the mansion to get food. Certainly, on top of their fatigue, their hunger was tormenting them. In the beginning, a mild level of hunger had been just what they needed to fight off drowsiness. However, it now just made their minds hazy since it was still only midday and their bodies felt like they were reaching their limits. The thought of going to the kitchen in the mansion and bringing back some food certainly was attractive.
私は反対です。多少は辛いでしょうが、断じてここを出るべきではありません。
私たちはいい。だが子供たちにひもじい思いをさせるのは心が痛む。親として責任を負わねばなるまい。
あなた、お父様が亡くなられた今、後宮家の当主はあなたです。そのような危険を冒すことは許されません。
そうね。夏日さんの言う通りよ。クラウスさんはリーダーとしてここに残るべきね。
なら誰が屋敷へ行くんだね。
俺と桐江、あと秀吉兄さんの3人で行こうと思う。俺と秀吉兄さんは銃を持ってる。
Hideyoshi? Okay.
そう簡単に向こうも手出しはできないはずだ。
ローザさんも銃を持っていましたが襲われました。危険ではありませんか？
ローザたちの様子を確かめに出た時、銃を持っていたが、俺は一人だった。だが襲われなかった。男が相手なら、向こうも慎重なのかもしれないぜ。
男性が2人。そしてさらに銃も2丁。2人には護衛役に徹してもらって、荷物は台車で私が運ぶわ。ローザさんの時とは状況が明らかに異なるはずよ。
わしを男と見込んでの話なら喜んで協力させてもらうで。こう見えても屋台を引いて鍛えた体や。力仕事は任せてえな。
男性は護衛役に徹してくれていいの。使用人室に折りたたみ式の台車があったから、それを使えば私一人でも十分に食料が運べるわ。もちろん用心はする。そしてこの冒険を一度だけ成功させれば、もう二度と。
If we can succeed in this adventure just once.
私たちはここを出る危険を冒す必要はないの。
なんとか考え直せませんか？皆さんに空腹を強いるのは心苦しいですがしかし、今の外は何が起こるかわかりません。
用心するで。それにエヴァはだいぶ体調が悪いんや。空腹にはできん。胃袋が空っぽじゃ飲める薬も飲めんわ。エヴァのためにもわしは出かけにはならんのや。
エヴァの具合はどうなんだね。
ようやく寝入ってくれたとこや。 熱も高い。しばらくそっとしたってや。
妻の体調があっては座してもいられんか。わかった。外出を許可しよう。
じゃあ俺たちはさっくりと行ってくるぜ。スピード勝負だ。缶詰は OK だよな。缶切りクレーこっちにあるよな。
はい。缶切りと栓抜きはあります。
ゲストハウスに水道があるから飲み物は不要よね。10人分もあるんだから好き嫌いは言わせないわ。
よっしゃ。でだって走ってってさっさと持ってこようやないか。傘なんてさせてる暇あらへんで。
じゃあ兄貴、留守番を頼むぜ。
気をつけてな。
Honestly, very, very dangerous adventure.
本当ならば自分も生きたい。男に生まれながらこのような急場で力を貸せぬ長男の肩書きが恨めしい。
But yeah, they didn't even put a food in the guest house. They knew that everyone was gonna be coming here for the conference, right? And the servants, or I guess, yeah, Natsuhi. Ain't Natsuhi and Cross is here all the time. They didn't even put food in the guest house. Maybe I guess they put like maybe some small food. Yeah, not that much, I guess, right? But yeah, they should have at least stocked the place before the conference.
こういう時くらいしか俺らには見せ場がないのさ。
But then again, no one knew that this was gonna be happening, so I guess.
たまには譲って兄貴はのんびりしてろい。じゃあな、夏日さん、タオルの準備でもして待っててくれ。傘はささねえから濡れネズミで帰ってくるぜ。
わかりました。
Okay, so they're going. Let's guess how many will come
お
back.
気をつけて。
Maybe none? Maybe one? It's either one or none for sure. Like, come on. Rudolph, Kiria, and Hideyoshi, each leaving their own brave worlds behind, left the lobby. What is gonna happen? Compared to the time Rosa and Maria had gone outside, the winds were much stronger. Rudolph's group of 3 people jogged through the rose garden without umbrellas, holding their guns and folded a cart. If everything had been so quiet, without the wind and the rain, they probably have kept their ears open and moved with caution. But in this rain, even if some suspicious person was hiding nearby, it would be difficult to notice them. Because of that, it had been Rudolph's plan to instead dash through the dangerous area. If there was a chance their opponent was equipped with a gun, then walking slowly with their guard up would only make them targets. Taking swift action was probably the correct choice.
バラテーや。カモがネギしょってきたと思うとるかもしれんで。
頼むぜ。誰も出てきてくれるなよ。
Even as Rudolph and Hideyoshi continued to run, they looked around restlessly, vigilant of their surroundings. I mean, yes, because you don't know where the enemy is, you don't know how many the enemy is, right? Or how many are they? And they could be like aiming a gun at you already, so you need to move really fast. Rosa and Maria's deaths had not been caused by a projectile weapon. However, it was easy to suspect that the servants had been killed in such a manner. Will they come out or come flying out of the dark? Or will they take careful aim and snipe from the shadows? Either way, they couldn't relax their tension for even an instant. But even so, when they reached the overhang in the front of the entrance to the mansion and escaped the reach of the raindrops, they felt themselves breathing a sigh of relief.
まずは問題なしやな。ローザさんの時とは違う。うかつに手は出せんやろ。
そう信じたいね。キリエ、俺たちが見張ってる間に鍵を開けてくれ。
ええ。SP が2人もついてお屋敷に帰宅だなんて、実にエグゼクティブな気分よ。
赤絨毯で召使いのお出迎えがあれば完璧や。
お出迎えか。あるかもな。用心しようぜ。
As the two cautiously surveyed their surroundings, Kiri unlocked the entrance with the master key she had been given.
開いたわ。
秀吉兄さん、戦闘を頼めるか。俺は背後を警戒するぜ。
了解や。キリさん、わしの影から出ないようにな。ほな突入するで。
後方了解。援護するぜ。
男の人ってやね。この状況をちょっぴり楽しんでるでしょう。
諦めろよ。それが男ってもんだ。しかし相変わらずひでえ匂いだな。
It felt like the air in the mansion was stagnant with a gloomy silence. And on top of that, it was still thick with the stench from Kinzo's burnt corpse in the boiler room. And they were struck with an uncontrollable desire to leave the mansion.
前方問題ないで。厨房まで一っ走りや。
とっとと済ませて引き上げよう。スーツが親父の匂いで訓示されちまうぜ。
The three of them dashed towards the kitchen. Ooh. And after they disappeared from the entrance hall, the new witch appeared there.
まんまと誘い出されたわね。私の罠にまんまと引っかかってくれた。
The witch grinned. Let me lower this volume. When it comes to this volume, whenever they're fighting, it's so loud. Okay. The witch grinned. Thinking about it now, no matter how unbearable their hunger had grown, it hadn't been or even been an hours since Rosa and Maria had been attacked and had lost their lives. In that case, why had they needed to recklessly leave the guest house? Until that question could be dealt with, the only answer was that they had been called out by the witch's magic.
不用心なやつら。もう生きてこの屋敷から出しはしないわ。閉じよ、鍵よ、屋敷よ。
The instant she proclaimed that, the mansion was sealed off into a separate world. Unless her barrier was undone, no longer would anyone be able to exit this mansion or enter it.
お見事です。
Let me... What do you call this? This one. This one we increase. BGM will turn it down like that.
無限の魔女を継承してからまだ半日も経たないのに、それほどまでに魔法を使いこなされるとは。その才能に驚きます。まるであなたは生まれながらにしての魔女のようだ。
だって私生まれた時から魔女だもの。あなたは瞬きの仕方を誰かに習うの？私が魔法を使えるのはそういうことよ。
恐ろしいお方だ。
The witch's face twisted with brutality. She just couldn't help looking forward to toying with someone's life again.
さてさて。まずはルドルフとキリエなわけだけど、どんな残酷な殺し方をしてやろうかしら。
But I don't think Rudolph and Kiri is just gonna sit here. I feel like they're at least gonna fight back, right? At least.
失礼ながら。
Hideyoshi, maybe he would instantly die. But Rudolph and Kiri here, they would fight back. Come on.
先代様より
A little bit.
不必要な残酷なる殺害は控えるようご指示を賜っております。そして第4の晩以降は生贄の捧げ方に作法がございます。それには煉獄の7姉妹の力を借りねばなりません。
あら、そうだったの？そういえばそうだったわね。好き勝手に遊べるのはさっきの第2の晩までなのね。つまんないわ。またローザの時みたいに思い切り遊べると思ったのに。でもそれは最後の殺し方という意味でしょ？
と申しますと？
私が何度どれほどの殺し方をしようとも生き返らせて、最後に碑文の殺し方に添えばいいわけでしょ？つまり私がどう遊ぼうと結局は問題ないってことになるわ。こんなに面白い力、誰がおとなしくなんかするもんか。
I hate her laughter the most. I'm not gonna lie. I already said this. Her laughter is just, it sounds like a broken record. Her absurd argument was for an endless witch with an extremely valid one. The etiquette that controlled the manner of killing, the sacrifice of the fourth twilight and onward was represented by lines like gouge the head. However, that referred to the way those people died in the end. In other words, in the process leading up to that, she was free to tease and kill them however she wanted. She just had to keep on reviving them and follow the rules only when she killed them the final time. Though Runaway felt that her innocent cruelty was part of her talent as a witch, he was beginning to notice an innately brutal side to her. Just now, he just noticed that she has a brutal side to her.
魔女は見習いが最も残忍と申しますが、本当のようですね。ご随意にと申し上げたいところですが、ここはやはり自重なさった方が賢明でしょう。彼らは銃を持っています。銃のような反魔法力の高い武器は魔女や悪魔の天敵です。
The witch stared blankly at this demon butler, who was surprisingly afraid of guns.
話が違うわ。魔女は弾丸なんか追いかけられてもへっちゃらじゃないのかしら。
いいえ、普通の人間と全く同じように致命傷となります。その弱点を気取らせないために、多くの魔女は厳重に防御結界や家具の守備によって身辺を固めるのです。
私にその防御結界というのはあるの？
銃弾をも無効にする結界の構築には十分な準備と儀式が必要です。残念ながら今のベアトリーチェ様にはございません。また銃弾を防げるほどの家具の召喚も現在はその準備がありません。
これほどの魔力を持つ大魔女になりながら、それでもやはり鉛玉に怯えなければならないのね。不愉快だけど仕方がないわ。となれば家具を呼び出して私の手足とすればいいわけね。
はい。危険に身をさらさず家具に全てを任すのもまた魔女の優雅なるたしなみでございます。ここは家具に任せ、ベアトリーチェ様は安全なところへお隠れを。
わかったわ。煉獄の7姉妹？誰でもいいわ。適当 に二人。
Leviathan and the Belphegor responded to that call.
嫉妬のレビアタン、ここに。
Hey, this is my favorite.
平の
Belphegor.
ベルフェゴール、ここに。
あんたたちの力を見せてもらうわ。標的ワルドルフとキリエ。秀吉はダメよ。
Don't attack Hideyoshi. Oh, okay.
さあ、あなたたちがどれだけ残酷な家具なのか、私に見せてみて。
Yeah, I actually forgot though that yeah, even though this is the younger one, yeah, the Ava Beatrice, younger one, the Ava, yeah, it's still, I mean, Hideyoshi is still the husband of Ava, the normal Ava, so I guess she doesn't still want to harm any of her actual family members, I suppose. We'll see though. I mean, she can be brutal and cruel, right? We'll see. But at least for now, she's saying that do not harm Hideyoshi.
恐れながら、
So I wonder if Hideyoshi and George will be surviving until, I guess, until the end, right? Because of this.
先代様より不要なる残酷行為は控えるようご命令を賜っております。
でも、先代様のご命令の範囲内で、いたぶることはできると思います。それでもよろしいですか？わかった。それで妥協するわ。簡単に殺してはダメよ。徹底的に追い詰めて、死の恐怖を味わわせてから殺すのよ。それでいいのかしら、ロノウェ？
はい。程度をお考えいただければ問題ないかと思います。
なら、お行きなさい。はい、お任せを。
相手は銃で武装しています。あなたたちほどのものならばかわすことはたやすいでしょうが、もしも当たれば致命傷ですよ。くれぐれも用心を。
ご心配なく、そのような無様は晒しません。
The dude's sisters of purgatory vanished. Uronove bowed and vanished himself.
殺し方にまでルールがね。なんで私が先代様に気兼ねしなくちゃならないの？窮屈でつまらない。
As the witch looked up at the portrait of the predecessor, Beatrice, hung in the hall, she cursed. The three people had already arrived at the kitchen and were gathering food supplies. Considering the possibilities of poison, they gave up on the alluring fruits and vegetables, and gathered a whole cardboard box full of only the safe canned foods. It was very heavy, but piling it on the cart, they could carry it well enough. This should be more than enough for 10 people to hold out until tomorrow's breakfast. Honestly, this feels like, you know, zombie movies, zombie TV shows, Walking Dead. They're out of food. They need to gather the food right now and then run back. But in this case, instead of zombies, we got brutal witches and their furnitures, I guess. There should be more than enough for 10 people to hold out until tomorrow's breakfast. That should carry them until the boat arrives. The two men were supposed to be focused solely on guard duty, but the weight of the load was tough on Kyrie even with the cart. Hideyoshi, who wanted to show off his power, switched to the cart pusher, and Rudolph, his wife, took up the task of guard duty.
これだけあればジョージたちも満腹やろ。帰るまでが遠足や。行くで。
When Hideyoshi vigorously announced their departure, Kyrie frowned and seemed to be gazing into a distance. There was a wall in that direction. No, if her gaze could go through that, there was the main hall beyond it.
どうした？ キリエ。
チリチリするの。
Vague.
嫌な予感がするわ。
Kirei stopped walking and narrowed her eyes even further.
女の勘か。
At times like this, Kirei's intuition often rang true even when she didn't have a logical reason. Rudolph believed in that intuition.
多分私たちは待ち伏せされてる。さっきまではその気配はなかったの。でもたった今感じたわ。たった今私たちは待ち伏せられた。
なら来た道を戻る義理はねえな。そこに勝手口があるじゃねえか。そっちから出よう。
Rudolph made to unlock the back door. When goods were carried into the kitchen, they never passed through the part of the mansion that the family came and went from. So outside the back door, there was probably a ramp used to carry things in. Surely they would be able to leave through their cart, through with the cart.
なんだこりゃ。家庭。くそ。どうなってんだ。
開かないの？
ああ。壊れてんのかな。びくともしねえぜ。
Rudolph tried various things, first using force, then coaxing it. But the lock was as hard as a stone and didn't even bulge.
無理せんと玄関から出ようや。もたもた時間を潰す方が今は惜しいで。
これが罠だってのか。
わからない。用心して。
With strained expressions, the three of them returned to the hall again and headed for the entrance.
誰だ。
The instant they exited into the hall, Rudolph noticed a suspicious shadow right in front of them and yelled. In that instant, a storm of gold leaves started blowing and gold butterflies covered the area with gold color. Here they come.
信じられん。人間ごときが我らの待ち伏せを予見したか。
私のせいじゃないわよ。気配は消してたもん。
躊躇しないで。撃って。
The lead bullets blasted right through the magical defense of the pair as easily as though it were a wet paper wall. But the two figures that should have been there had disappeared. Certainly guns were frightening objects for them, but there was no need to fear as long as they weren't hit. They at least had enough speed to dodge those.
ちょっと
So they're actually nervous now because they're getting attacked.
名乗りも上げさせないつもり。
But yeah, you can see how fast they are, right? Compared to the others.
これだから人間は嫌なのよ。
Leviathan was full 10 meters from where she had supposedly began popping her head out from behind the pillars in the shadow of the staircase and protesting.
ベアトリーチェ様のご命令により貴様らを撃つ。時間をかけてホフレトのご命令だ。抵抗は自由。されど無駄と知れ。
That voice came from overhead. Belphegor could be seen on the top of the hall chandelier. Elegantly looking down upon them, she proclaimed their execution with a cruel smile.
なんなんやこの姉ちゃんたちは。
Ne-chan.
台車は忘れて。相手は2人よ。3回すれば全員を追うことはできないわ。
But is it better to split up though? All three of them were all well acquainted with the inside of the mansion. In the case of a crisis, they planned to run off in separate directions, returning to the guest house by breaking windows or leaving through the back door. Fighting was forbidden, as long as they could fully escape.
36系逃げるが勝ちだぜ。
The three of them ran into the depths of the mansion at full tilt. That pair of furniture calmly watched them go.
私は女の方をやるわ。あんたは男。
了解した。
You okay? Yeah, I love this. The furniture in the shadows of the pillars and on the chandelier made their figures explode. And leaving behind only sound of a hopping beetle knocking against the wall, they pursued their respective targets. Their speed was overwhelming and they easily blocked the other's paths of retreat.
家具のお手並み拝見させてもらうわ。楽しませてくれるといいのだけど。
ベアトリーチェ様、みだりに姿を現されない方がよろしいかと。
キングは緑に中央を動かないものよ。それが王者の魔女の貫禄よ。
Belphegor was already blocking the way in front of Rudolph, who had boldly tried to escape to the second floor.
抵抗もそして闘争も無駄だ。お前は何も考えなくていい。ただ目を閉じているだけでいい。私が全て優しく終わらせてやる。
あんたいい嫁さんになれるな。
Look how badass Rudolph is. Yes.
疲れて帰ってくる旦那はそういうの喜ぶぜ。
この後に及んで不埒な話をする余裕があるとは。良き獲物、ベアトリーチェ様、感謝します。死ねえ。
Rudolph shot first. Oh, but even before the bullet could hit her, Belphegor had already moved behind Rudolph's back. No! She then raised a purple curve springing out from her arm. No, he's done already. Oh, not yet. Okay. However, incredibly, before that arm could decapitate Rudolph, he had swung his gun behind him. The barrel remained pointing behind his back from the same motion with which he had reloaded the sawed-off gun one-handedly. It was pointing right at Belphegor's chest. Click. Check-clunk. It was the sound of the ejected empty cartridge finally hitting the wall after the reload. In other words, it meant that the next shot was already fully loaded. Without turning his gun pointing right at Belphegor's chest, Rudolph grinned.
やるな。中年男の分際で。
Not bad for a middle-aged man.
西部劇世代をなめるんじゃねえぜ。ガキどもにレバーアクションの渋みは語らせねえ。
Just like Rudolph, Kyrie was also confronting a demon snake in the first floor corridor.
間抜けなやつね。夫と一緒に逃げればよかったのに。さっきのは根性の別れになったわよ。
大丈夫よ。うちの人、こういうのとても得意なの。すぐに白馬で迎えに来てくれるわ。
This kind of thing is my husband's specialty. Okay.
私が困った時、彼が助けに来てくれなかったことはないんだから。アスムさんがいた頃であってもね。
Asumu. Asumu is Asumu. I guess his what do you call this? Butler's mom, probably, right? I don't remember if it was mentioned back then, but yeah, probably Butler's mom, Asumu.
本当に仲のいい夫婦ね。嫉妬するわ。私は嫉妬のレビアタン。嫉妬こそ我が力、我が怒り、我が源泉。
同感ね。嫉妬は女の力の原点よ。それが力だというなら、あなたごときお嬢ちゃんになんか負けないんだから。
がる私によくも言えたわね。お前たち夫婦を再会などさせるものか。悲劇的な別れを与えてやるわ。
The arm of the Leviathan swung was trailed by a purple curve. It was a magical blade that cut with the power of malice. Look at this. Yeah, these are just... they're different. Kirei blocked it with her gun. Even though the magic blade should have cut through the metal like butter, the gun, with its extremely high magic resistance power, was able to block the blade as easily as if it were a rolled up newspaper. Okay, the way they're even pointing the gun here, you know they're very skilled with it. Rapidly, 2, 3 times, it blocked all of them. And without missing the opening created when that purple curve took a swing upward, Kirei kicked Leviathan in the stomach with her heel. Leviathan was knocked away, a lightly dancing feather. Before the demon's feet touched the ground again, Kirei was already pointing her gun directly at Leviathan in midair. From that position, the two women had a called envy, a form of power, met each other's gaze.
撃てる？その引き金。
私、夫のいないところでは残酷よ。
Bye bye. The thing is, these furniture, they can be killed though. Yeah, you look at look at Shannon, they're furniture as well, right? So they can be killed. Rudolph tumbled down the staircase. It's just, I guess, harder to kill these stakes. He'd been gradually cornered by Belphegor and had been pushed back into the main hall they started from.
先代様の家具もなかなかやるわね。派手さに欠けるけど。
ベアトリーチェ様、まだ終わっていません。姿を現されては危険です。
お前、まさか姉貴なのか？
Dude, Beatrice is so powerful. Like, she doesn't care. Remember, she turned Rosa into a meatball? Like, this is nothing to her. Yeah, this is just fun. Even if she shows herself, it doesn't matter.
それはかつて私の名だった。
But Rudolph noticed that is Ava. But yeah, I guess a younger one.
でも今は違うわよ、ルドルフ。
言わなくても分かってるさ。黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェだって言うんだろ。
どうして分かったの？
ローザが殺された時から想像はついてたさ。ローザ、許しね。お前の地獄にお前の大嫌いな姉を送っちまうことをよ。
ベアトリッチェ様、危ない！
Rudolph mercilessly pointed the barrel of his gun at the witch, who claimed to have once been his sister. But Belphegor would not permit that attack savagely. She dashed and disappeared and headed for Rudolph's back. She dodged that shot again and headed for Rudolph's back. And vanished over and over, instantly moving into Rudolph's blind spots. It was almost like she was a fairy. As she blinked in and out of vision, Belphegor incessantly drove towards Rudolph.
これはこれで楽しいかもしれない。ルドルフ、あんたの検討がどこまで続くかゆっくり見物させてもらうわ。
My god, that laugh. At that time, there was a dull tearing sound along with Rudolph's cry of anguish. Rudolph's reaction to the dance of the purple curve that pressed upon him had finally been too slow, and he'd let it lightly cut his flank. That single wound slowed him down just once. That led to a new wound which slowed his actions again. Belphegor's dance began to swallow Rudolph whole. Watching Rudolph's body gradually get carved up by his former sister let out a shrill laugh. Leviathan could no longer hide her irritation that Kyrie hadn't suffered a single fatal wound. Okay, so in Kyrie's side, Kyrie is actually winning this time.
私は本当に愚鈍よね。7姉妹の中でいつも一番成長が遅かったわ。
I was always the slowest to grow, so I guess she is the weakest among the 7 sisters.
いつも私が遅くて弱くて間抜けだったわ。その劣等感が嫉妬となり、それを力として変換した時、私は姉妹の誰にも負けない力を得たのよ。
少女時代の程よい劣等感は大事よ。女に化粧と努力を教えてくれるわ。
人間ごときにその力の限りを尽くすのは気に入らないけれど、夫に全幅の信頼を寄せるあなたへの嫉妬を私は力に変える。気に入らないのよ。なんで命のやり取りをしてるのにあんたはそんなに余裕なの？
どうしてかしらね。
必ず夫が助けに来てくれて自分を助けてくれるって信じきってるのよ。すごいじゃない？その信頼、嫉妬に値するわ。
What kind of trust did we sisters have for each other? The sisters are always looking down on each other, trying to thoroughly lambast each other when things already look bad.
いつも姉妹たちにいじめられてきたわ。誰か一人だけでも味方になってほしいとずっと思ってたわ。だからその一人だけの味方がいて全幅の信頼を寄せることができるあなたに私その夫を信じきった余裕ある表情、嫉妬が力を与えてくれるのを感じるわ。これは超えちゃうかもね。音速。
Leviathan turned herself into a snake, and the speed of her flight as she attacked was proportional to the strength of her envy.
姉妹たちに見下されたあの日、私は成長の早い他の6人を心の底から嫉妬した。7日7番をかけて嫉妬したわ。その末に得た私の力と速度を見るがいい。死ねえ後ろ宮キリエ。
The demon snake exposed her true form, leaping about at a terrible speed. The noise from her bouncing off the wall sounded like a machine gun. By now, Kyrie probably couldn't tell if it was a single snake or a swarm of beetles flying around and bouncing around. Leviathan was 100% certain of her victory, believing it from her bottom of her heart. Then Kyrie spoke with an unbelievably calm voice.
ルドルフさんと最初から付き合っていたのは私だったのよ。アスムさんが白々しく間に入り込んできて。
Okay, now they're talking about, or she's talking about their love story. Okay.
ちゃっかりと解任したのよ。ルドルフさんは悪くないわ。あの女が体を武器にして立ち回って、ルドルフさんに婚約せざるを得ないよう追い詰めたのよ。アスムさんはバトラ君を身ごもってたわ。そして同じ頃、私もまた男の子を身ごもってた。
What? Asumu had been carrying Butler-kun, and at the same time I was also carrying a boy. But she was also pregnant? No, I mean she has a kid, right? Butler has a sister. I forgot her name though, but they didn't mention it in the first episode, right? In the beginning, when they were going to Rokinjima Island. So she had a kid already before that other one, the other kid, it's a daughter, other daughter.
運命的なことに、私たちの出産日は共に同じ日だったわ。そしてアスムさんはバトラ君を出産したわ。だけれど、私はダメだった。思ったことがあるわ。もしダメだったのがアスムさんで、出産したのが私だったなら、ルドルフさんは婚約を解消して私と結婚してくれたかしら。でも私は子供を産めなかった。だからアスムさんが死ぬまで、そしてエンジェを解任するまで、私はアスムさんを呪ったわ。嫉妬したわ。
アンゲ。
アスムさんなんか死んでしまえ。そして私と再婚してほしいってずっと嫉妬して呪って、そしてやっとアスムさんが死んだ。私は確信したわ。私には魔法の力があって、それが呪いとなってアスムさんを殺したんだって確信したわ。でも私の嫉妬の炎は収まらない。内緒よ。バトラ君を見るたびにね、あの女を思い出しちゃうの。
Okay, so definitely she hates Butler a lot.
そしてバトラ君を見るたびにね、もし私の子が生まれていたら同じ年だっただろうなって思ってしまうの。私は今でも彼女を嫉妬し苛まれてる。今もこれからも未来永劫にね。7日7番姉妹を嫉妬したですって。
そうよ。
笑わせるなよ小娘が。
Oh my god, look at that face. Demon.
てめえに男を取られて18年間嫉妬し続ける女の狂気がわかるかよ。
If Leviathan had the power of 24 hours and 7 days, or 168 powers of speed, then the power that Kiri had accumulated was 24 hours in 1 day, 365 days in 1 year, and 18 whole years. Even without counting leap years, that was 157,680 hours. Compared to Leviathan's power and speed, it was more than 938 times greater. So then, even if Leviathan could soar at the speed of 1,225 kilometers per hour, to Kiri's eyes, it only looked like 938 of that. What is that? Why are there a lot of figures here? So then, okay, numbers. The speed of 100, okay. They say humans' walking speed is 4 kilometers, so it was even less than half of that. It's almost the same speed as a baby crawling on the floor, which means in the time it took the demon's stake to move at a pace so slow that you could count all of the bits of dust flowing through the air, Kira looked at it with pity. She pitied the slowness at which it came towards her. Then she lazily raised the barrel of her gun, almost as though she was trying to swallow the demon's stake up with the gun barrel.
恋も嫉妬もあなた全然足りないわ。出直してらっしゃい、お嬢ちゃん。
お嬢ちゃん。She won, I guess.
ルドルフ、先ほどまでの威勢はどこへ？
Alright, let's take a little break here. But yeah, it is getting very, very fun. Where is it? Okay, Leviathan often confronts the eldest sister Lucifer on behalf of the younger sisters. She has fundamentally envious and brutal personality and is adept at finding other weaknesses. However, she is better described not as envious but as a crybaby who wants her own way. For some reason, she is not very shrewd and always ends up last in the sisters' order, drawing the short straw and crying. Belphegor is a taciturn ascetus and the most trusted of the sisters as furniture. However, that is partly because of her demonic desire to turn her masters into lazy pigs. In that sense, she could probably be called the most demon-like of all the sisters. Her flaw is that she is too serious. Conversely, she is not used to being treated with kindness. Okay. So yeah, as we saw Kyrie there talking, right? Telling her story. Yeah, we could assume, I mean, she didn't say it outright, but we could assume that she doesn't like Butler, I guess, one bit. She's just showing face, right? Then, okay, that they're good. But in reality, whenever she sees Butler, she gets reminded of, yeah, Butler's mom, Asumu, and her kid that she could have had, right? At the same day, I guess, right? So, yeah, I want to see more of this, I guess, backstory to this. It would be nice to see if, like, how she gets angry at Butler, right? Like how, like, say, true personality at Butler shows up. That would be very, very cool to see. But yeah, both of these guys, Rudolph, Kyrie, I told you, man, they were not just gonna back down and just die normally. They're gonna fight back. More or less, they're gonna die, for sure. Let's say they defeat both of these stakes that they're there, Belphegor and Leviathan. Let's say they defeated them. Problem is, Miss Crazy is still there, yeah. She's still there. She could easily dispatch them, right, if she wanted to. So I guess their fate is kind of sealed. Like, even though if they win right now, they are probably not gonna last, is what I'm saying, for sure. So anyways, we are gonna continue this and do more of Umineko When They Cry episode 3 in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye bye.